everybody, welcome to Carp TV. This is going to be probably one of our first of many live streams to come directly on YouTube as opposed to Facebook Live. We'll do Facebook live streams, but we will be splitting them now and slowly transitioning to YouTube for those live streams for sales, updates, announcements, etc. Can everybody hear me well? Okay, we have a couple of more minutes until we officially begin. So we're going to just wait for some of our members. Oh, then let me... that's right. Hey Dan, is this better? Can you hear me better now? I think we should be good to go right now with our audio and video equipment. We're just going to give a few more minutes to our other members to join, and then we're going to start the show. I think, what was it? Was it about 2 weeks that we haven't done the live stream for? So we have obviously few cool updates for you, some news, exciting new products being released. So quite a few new things to share with you. And we think that the carp angling community is going to enjoy it. Meanwhile, I'm wondering, any of you are planning the fishing trips for this weekend? I know that the weather obviously have been rough with the air quality being really bad, really low due to those Canadian wildfires. So, especially on the East Coast, we've been dealing with this. It's been not easy, to say the least. Okay, let's drop a link to our group page. Give me guys a moment. Okay, Don, how about you? Are you fishing this weekend? Are you coming out tomorrow? What's going on with you? Don, then you're having an identity crisis, I think. Different name on YouTube, different name on Facebook. Well, listen, sometimes that's better, right? Well, anyway. Welcome to Carp TV, guys. One of many live streams to come on YouTube. I will begin by saying thanks for joining. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you will be notified of the future releases of the videos. Not just that, but also the live streams when they are coming out. Because just like today, we will have a sale. We will have cool announcements and product updates. And, regular business talk as usual as well. So make sure you don't miss those by subscribing actually to our channel. And you will not regret, you already know this. Okay, it's always entertaining with us. So let's start. For those of you who are really interested in a sale, I'll tell you what we have going on today. And it is, bam, right there. Okay. So that's our sale for today. We have coupon code YT15 for 15% off everything on our website. So YT15 for 15% everything on our website, guys. Okay, so make sure you don't sleep on it. The sale is on until, as usual, midnight. Okay, I am dropping a comment with the coupon code to make sure that everybody gets it. So make sure you don't miss out. This is a big, big sale, 15%, no exceptions, no limits, no nothing. So get whatever you want until midnight. This is our way of saying thanks for joining us on the live stream. And they surely will be more of those. But again, they last only until midnight. After that, the sale is automatically turned off. And midnight, it is Eastern time, I believe. That's when it turns off. Adam says that he has a good stuff to watch during house chores. Hey, brother, happy to help. Happy to help and entertain you. Just make sure you don't get the trouble with the missus at home. Jack Wiggle says, weird, only come out of right speaker. Well, we have been checking our audio to make sure that we are okay on our end. I think we are. So make sure you check your left speaker to make sure that it didn't blow up or anything like that. Okay, so this is the sale. Make sure you don't miss out, right? YT15 for 15% off everything on carpangler.com. I dropped you the link in the comment section. I have done it so yet again. So make sure you take advantage of that. Now, so let's talk about what's new. We definitely have quite a few new products coming up. Some of them are already on our website. Not everything, but some of them are already there. I think the biggest one of all of them is the fact that we have new rods that I think everybody virtually has been waiting for. And those are the Sonic Extractor Pro. They are replacing, not discontinuing them, but replacing extractor rods with something better. Okay, so we have them in a 9-foot and a 10-foot option. 9-foot comes with a 3 1/4 test curve, and a 10-footer comes with a 3.5 test curve, which I think is the more sought after for most anglers. So what is new with the Extractor Pro? So they built on the phenomenal success of everybody knows the extractors are retractable butt. That's what they have. So they built on the success of that and stepped up the performance to a new level. They built it really, as they say, without the compromise. The carbon fiber that they are using in this is lighter and seems better. Okay, you pick up that rod and it feels better than the previous version of the extractor. Okay, it feels like a mid to high end range carp rod. That's what it feels like. I have it right behind me. I am going to grab it in a moment and I'm going to show you a little bit close up of it. But I am telling you, when I picked this up, and I have fished for about a season and a half with the regular extractors, 9-footers, which I have then sold to a friend of mine, and they have been working extremely well. I remember on the older ones, I have been pulling mid-30s on it, and they have been holding up. I mean, there was absolutely no issue. It's a great rod. So take a look definitely at those. They released them around April. Sonic released them around April of this year. The moment they were released, they went completely out of stock. I mean, there was absolutely nothing left within 24 hours to order from Sonic. So what we have done this time when they finally came back to stock just now, we are the only ones in US right now that have them in stock. Okay, nobody else has them in USA right now in stock. We took a huge contingent of those. So we should have enough for months to come. Although I don't know because they are really already selling fast. We just released them on our website days ago without really major announcements, and they have been flying off the shelves. So let's take a look at them, shall we? So those are the extractors. Obviously they are very known, famous I would say, by the retractable bottom portion of it. That's what makes them so easy to transport, right? I mean, we are having those almost equal sections over here of this 10-footer. This is a 10-footer Extractor Pro in a 3.5 test curve. And you see that it packs down really small. Just to show you some of the details of it. Okay, this is it. And you can tell that this is quality. Extractor Pro, just, well, not just released, but freshly made available because previously we couldn't get our hands on it. What's really cool, and not all the rods come with it, is the line clip. Really high quality. I have used it on the previous version, and I have to say, they did a really great job with it. Okay, so this is it. The guides, all the components, it's extremely good, high quality. Okay, yeah, obviously retract, but quality is that. Look at that carbon fiber on this. I mean, this is absolutely great stuff. You know what I mean? So you'll be regretting not giving them a serious look if you are in the market for a new rod. And given that they have been on the market for quite some time, okay, it shouldn't be new at all to you, that you should expect, you know, very high quality from them, you know, that the build will be there, the durability. I mean, those are really, really quality rods. Okay, and I mean, that built on them, that carbon fiber is just amazing. I obviously cannot show you very deep details of it, you know, in here. But hey, if you live close by to us, remember we are on Long Island in New York, come by, see us, feel them, play with them, put a reel on it, and give it a dry test go. Adam says that he was using the extractor in 9-footer and 3 1/4, and it worked great for a boat rod. Absolutely. Everybody knows that when you go on a boat, the size matters, just in the opposite direction, right? The shorter the better. It's easier to fight the fish and navigate on the boat. And the extractors on top of that are so short when you collapse that bottom portion of it, and so easy to transport. It's a perfect all-rounder, I would say, whether you are going on the boat or from the shore, unless you really need that extreme distance in those rare cases. The 9 or 10-footer will suit most of the waters. Oh, Sam is commenting. Sam is the New York CAG chair, and I actually sold my extractor that I was using before to Sam. And you know, I told Sam I think the largest I pulled on those extractor was a 34-pounder, 34 plus, and they've held up. They've held up pretty well. I mean, it was a formidable fight with a mid-30 fish, but they've held up, you know, equally to many of the more expensive rods. Really had no problem with it. And yeah, Sam is using Extractor 5000 reels. Yeah, that's a nice matching combo, definitely. They definitely balance each other out very neatly. I was actually using those extractors today with a customer in the store. We were testing them. The only reason he decided to go with with a different reel is because he was looking for a bait runner and extractor 5000, I believe, are front drag, quick drag system. Don is asking if they make them in a 13 footers. Nope, only 9 and 10 feet long. That's the only two lengths that are available. The 9 footer comes available in a test curve no bigger than 3 1/4. That's why we took 3 1/4. 3.0, 275, they are absolutely too soft in my opinion for most of the swims, and we don't see much of the demand for those. So we made sure that we stocked up absolutely massively on the 9 footers in 3 1/4 because that's the highest test curve that they come in that length. And on 10 footers, we stocked up very heavily on 3 1/2 test curve because we see those far more popular than any other ones. And I think I agree, because if you want to fish with pack bait or a heavier lead, something above 4 ounces, and you want to be able to comfortably chug it out, you need to have 3 1/2 test curve. The 3 1/4, yes, you can do it, but you have to be a little bit more mindful that you're packing a bit of a weight over there and how you cast it. You have to kind of just push it out. You can still cast a good distance, it's just not as comfortably as with 3 1/2. And Sam is confirming that the Extractor 5000 reels have a quick drag system instead of a bait runner. That's right. And that was the reason that a customer today was buying another reel from us in the store. Actually, it was Norbert who was just fishing at the lake house several days ago, I think, with a great success. I think he had 2 dozens of carp over there, multiple, I think mid to upper 20s, multiple 30s. They had a trip and a half from what I was hearing from him. And so we talked lake house today, we talked carp fishing in general, and they had a great stay of it. I mean, everybody has a great stay of it, don't get me wrong, but they really cleaned up. They really hit the fish right before the spawn, feeding heavily. They had a ton of fun over there. They've lost some good ones too, because it's not the easiest of swims. It's still a wild water. You still have snags, you still have zebra mussels, but it's a great place, you know, by the way, if you want to test your skills on a water that is definitely holding larger fish. So, but anyway, getting back to some news and updates. The Sonic Extractor rods, we have great stock on it, but other than that, Sonic is pretty much sold out or just about to be sold out on those. So if any of you are looking to upgrade your rod, I suggest give it a serious look. It's a serious rod, very competitively priced. Sonic is really making it as cheap as possible for the money. I think that's the best bang for the dollar that you can get. Joel is saying, with all the Extractor models, old and new, I would highly suggest matching the leads you are casting to the test curve of the rod. Yeah, that's a good advice. I was just talking about it, that if you're fishing with a pack bait, choose a 10 footer with 3 1/2 test curve. You will be far more comfortable doing so. If you are fishing without the pack bait, just a lead, and you're not fishing rivers where you have to be using leads of 5, 6, 8 ounces, you can go with a 9 footer 3 1/4 if you prefer a little bit more action and faster action. But me personally, 10 footer 3 1/2 would be the perfect choice, just because of the waters where I particularly am fishing. So I have to use a heavier lead sometimes. Haven't used pack bait this season. I decided to go straight boilie this season. So far it's been amazing results, by the way, going straight boilie instead of pack bait. But I'll be the first one to say there are circumstances under which pack bait will outfish straight boilie fishing very easily. And so keep that in mind. And again, 3 1/2 test curve would be my recommended one, but we have the 3 1/4 available. So again, the stock is Right now, very good on those, but I'm expecting them at some point to go out due to the demand. We've been selling them very hot for the past few days. And again, we haven't made any major announcement on them, so I'm expecting after tonight that this will put a dent in the inventory quite a bit. So what else do we have in the new arrivals? And by the way, I'm going to drop you a link to the Extractors Pro because they are absolutely worth giving them a look. And hey, I mean, take advantage of the sale that we have going on. You can save 15% on everything until midnight today. That includes the extractor rods and anything else that you see on our website. There are no limits to this coupon code, so make sure you take advantage of it, but until midnight only. So speaking of the new arrivals, right? I wanted to talk about some end tackle first. And let me give you a link to the new arrivals so you can see what we will be talking about. I just dropped you a comment with the link to the new arrivals section, and let's talk about it. So let me get there now. One of the great companies that we wanted to work with is Carp or Us. I know I have been talking about them in the past because we wanted to get their products. Sourcing them is not the easiest. They are coming from Europe, obviously, but they are making phenomenal products. And Ray, I'm gonna touch base on the leads right after this. Thanks for reminding me. So Carp or Us, I knew of them, but I didn't know how great their products were until it was Robert Yagewo, who just recently caught the Connecticut state record at the lake house with that whooping 45 plus pounder. I fished there and I met with Robert there, and he showed me the hooks that they offer. We discussed in detail the quality of the wire that they are using and the sharpness of the hooks and the durability of those. And that's what sold me on it. You know, it's something that I was able to hold in my hands, play with it, and I was sold. And that day, I remember I told Robert at the lake house, I said, you know what, I will reach out to them right away. I want to get their product. I want to get their hooks and the aligners that they sell. I've seen some of the aligners that Robert had, and they've been obviously great quality. I was very impressed. I've seen different hooks, different aligners in the store, but the hooks that they are selling, well, they're gonna give a run for the money to every other company out there from what I'm seeing. Now, I dropped you the link already to the new arrivals, but what I wanted to do is drop you a link to the one special hook that I was discussing with Robert that day that I think will be the absolute game changer. So the cranked hook from Carp, and I just dropped you a link to it, is the one. The turn on that hook is like no other. I mean, look at the shape of that hook. I obviously don't have it here to show you because the order will be with us probably in several days from what I have been seeing from the tracking information. But look at the picture of the hook. I mean, it is something, I was first questioning this, why the hook has such a weird shape, until I've actually played with it and then watched some videos. The product link that I have dropped you in the comments section includes YouTube video under the description of the product on the product page from the manufacturer explaining the hook a little bit better. But the hook turns like no other when I was trying this. And so it's the difference. It's as if I was using an aligner with a hook that I had a hard time turning. Okay, that's how the shape of the hook works. That's what that indent, I think, does in it. In the shank of the hook. I absolutely love it. We have, I think, a decent amount of those coming, but depending on the sales, they might go quick, and it takes some while to get them in. And Rafael from Lake House is commenting right now. If anyone knows quality, it's Robert. Absolutely. Robert is the guy. He's probably one of a handful, probably 2 or 3 guys that I would call for advice if I have a question about any rig, any hook, or piece of rig that I am interested in. Okay? Most of the time it would be either Lee Hearn or Robert Yagewo. Okay? I think those 2 guys know their stuff like no other. Okay? Obviously, I know that there are great anglers out there, so not to cast shade on anyone, but those 2 guys are really amazing when it comes to rigs. So get on those hooks. We will be getting them shortly, and I just want to make sure you don't miss out. So now, let's talk about the next product, right? And we're going to do a little bit of a demonstration in a moment. So you guys know recently, right? We caused a storm and a half with the release of the, what we called, truthfully, most expensive boilies in America, probably in the world, because I don't think anybody from my research is selling a more expensive boilie. Now, the point was obviously not to just make a stupid statement, because nobody likes to buy anything that is most expensive. It's all about quality, right? But we made that statement to send a message that, hey, this is the most expensive boilie in America and probably in the world. I'm talking about Cocoberry Pink Diamond, because of the ingredients that we decided to put in it. And not to sound like a broken record, because I know we talked about it during the last couple of streams, we obviously came out with something special. We took the boilie to the lake house. I absolutely smashed it there. We took it on Seneca River. We smashed it there. They've been using this in a tournament. They won with that boilie. It's been absolutely phenomenal product that we have done with Proline baits, right? And we just decided to create something extra special, right? Everybody wants to nowadays create the boilie that is either the cheapest or the best in the cheapest way possible, right? If that makes sense. And we decided, no, we're going to take a different route with this one, because there is a subsegment of anglers who simply want something the best. And we decided to put absolutely best of all ingredients that we can into it. Some of them had to be imported, and that's what we did. And it's not a surprise that the boilie have worked, but the way it worked, the extent to which it works, was mind-blowing. So we sold out, obviously, right? We are still selling it extremely well, but then we wanted to build on this success and take it a step further. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to drop you a link to those Cocoberry boilies that we have been talking about. So the link has been dropped right now. Those are the so-called most expensive boilies in America, and don't get me wrong, I know what a lot of you will say, well, I can catch it on corn too. Yes, you can. And a lot of the times you will catch the biggest fish on something as simple as corny, whether it's sweet corn, field corn, you name it, or even some cheap boilie. We simply wanted to design something that we think long-term is going to give you the best rate of success. Okay, there will be outliers to it always, based on the swim and other factors, but overall, we believe that you will have the best chance of success if you put the best ingredients and create the best product possible, right? So not to say that there are not other great boilies out there, but we really wanted to take it to the next level with this one. So with that in mind, we started talking about, can we build on that success and create something even more special? And what we came up with, and I alluded to that on a live stream this morning that we did on Facebook, we designed with Proline baits designed a critically balanced bottom bait, not a pop-up, not even a wafter, which nowadays wafters are mostly not even neutral when it comes to their buoyancy, but they are pretty much floaters, right? They are just easily held to the bottom, slightly off the bottom for the length of the hair with a typical size 6 or 4 hook. So those are the typical wafters that we're seeing on the market today. What we haven't seen, at least not readily available for purchase, is a boilie light. So again, departing a little bit from the wafter category, we wanted to have something that will be so critically balanced that it will be extremely easy to suck up by the carp feeding on the bottom. Not exactly a pop-up, which sometimes can be discovered by the carp in the high pressure waters and they're not going to take it. And not exactly a 10-gram boilie that takes a certain amount of suction by the carp to put it in their mouth, but something a little bit better balanced. And so we came up with Proline baits. It's in the works right now with the version of Cocoberry Pink Diamond in light version. Okay, so again, not a pop-up, not really a wafter, just a very, very light boilie. Okay, and I want to show you a version of it right now because we've been obviously testing it and we're liking what we're seeing, how it behaves. Let me see some of the comments that I'm seeing here. Adam says, I got the pineapple boilies in my mailbox, so they have similar ingredients to cocoberry. Some of the ingredients, quite a few of them overlap between those flavors, but no, not all of them. Obviously, one is a cocoberry, one is a pineapple, and you see those pink diamond speckles in the cocoberry that pineapple doesn't have. So no, there's plenty of differences in it from flavor to color, obviously, etc., including ingredients, but quite a few of them overlap. So that is that. How are you packaging it? Sam is asking. If you are referring to those critically balanced boilies light, that's what we're going to call them, they are going to be coming in pots like this. Okay? This is how they will be coming. Okay? That's them. In a pot like this. So this is going to be the Proline version of the packaging. Obviously it will change, right? But here are the prototypes. So that's how they will be packaged. They will be obviously slightly cheap. Well, not slightly. They will be cheaper because you're not getting as many of them as you're getting in a 2.2 pound bag. But again, I think it's worth every penny from what we're seeing. I will be testing it possibly next week at the lake house. We'll see how the weather holds up, but we are really eager to put them to the test ourselves. Dan is right. You can still catch them on corn. Absolutely, brother. Yes, you can. So, Sam, how many in a jar? I would have to count. You know, I cannot tell you right now. I'll show you another version of raspberry cream. Okay, here they are. Whoops. So that's raspberry cream, for example, that we have. Okay, so I will give you some better count when I count them. I'm not gonna do it now, but I'll give you some better counts so we have an idea how many you get. And obviously we're gonna release some pricing on those. Again, it's innovation by Proline Baits working with us on releasing a couple of new cool things, cool flavors. Proline baits have been phenomenal to work with, right? I mean, we're working with quite a few bait manufacturers, but Proline baits have been very innovative. Love working with them. Very quality product, as you see. And, you know, the amount of experience that they have is, you know, speaking for itself. You know, the one brand that I know that can match them as far as the experience goes is DT Baits in UK, right? I mean, the guys have been, you know, operating, I think, since the 80s, if I'm correct. So that's, you know, as far as UK brands go, that's absolutely my favorite, DT Baits. And over here, obviously, we have Proline, we have Carp Max. We still have some Carp Bait USA that we're waiting to sell out. We're just having a little bit of a hard time pushing it out ever since the Carp Max showed up. You know, obviously Thomas's boilies, you know, kind of stole the spotlight, and then Proline baits came into our store, and you know that meant obviously that there's a little bit more competition, and obviously it's good for carp anglers, and this is what we intended to do. So let me show you how they work, right, and what the whole fuss is about. Again, not a pop-up, not exactly a wafter, because wafters nowadays are really buoyant. They're not really neutral when it comes to their buoyancy. They are meant nowadays to really stay, you know, just above the bottom, you know, just the length of the hair, and be held there by the weight of the hook. That's typically nowadays how it's done. Now, don't get me wrong. I was talking with Jacob today, mentioning that, you know, that Carp Max, you know, has that, but you know, obviously we don't have it. I wouldn't know, you know, I don't think anybody can really buy it right now. We're going to obviously talk to Thomas regarding his, I think he calls it wafters, for the fall season. If they are working as well as this bait, which, you know, I have no reason to believe that they're not, we would love to obviously get some, since we're already selling Thomas's boilies. But we'll see what happens, right? The issue is that we obviously have to get a lot of something in order to take it, because the last thing we want to do is put something on the website, it goes out of stock, let's say a month or two later, and then we're going to be out of stock for 3 months. Just not a good look on the website. So that's why we have the selection that we have. We know that obviously Carp Max makes more flavors, really cool stuff, excellent boilies, but we cannot take everything, because Thomas obviously right now cannot roll, you know, every couple of weeks a flavor if we run out. So we needed to focus on smaller selection but in larger quantity, so you guys can come back in between the times when he's rolling it and still have the stock for yourself. So anyway, so let's get this little demonstration, you know, started, right? So we have a little bowl of water. I just want to show you the, you know, the obvious. We obviously have your traditional wafters, right? How you normally buy them. Very good bait. And then we have this, right? And typically what happens is this, what a wafter, right? And then you will need the weight of the hook to keep it in place, right? Next, what you would have is boilie, right? This is our pineapple fusion, right? And obviously, what to expect from it? Well, I think we all know. Boom. It sinks, right? Sinks straight to the bottom without much movement. So this is where we wanted to make a bit of a difference, right? So we took this. This is our prototype, right? It's not a final product yet, okay? We took that, and let's see how the buoyancy of this compares. Look at this. Did you see how this bounced? Look at this, like a balloon, in comparison to the boilie that just drops straight to the bottom, right? So again, this is the one, bounces like a balloon, okay? And this is exactly what we wanted to do. This is the difference. This. So the idea is, as I already mentioned, that the carp will be feeding on similarly sized and looking bait in the swim. And if they will have nothing but boilies that you're pre-baiting with or baiting with while you're fishing, they will be sucking it with a certain amount of energy. Then when they come across this, it will go deeper and it will go faster, resulting in better hook rate, and the hook sets will be better as well. So everybody knows that that's the idea behind most of the pop-ups as well as wafters, but we just wanted to have Proline put a little bit of twist on it, and we think that they did a marvelous job. So kudos to Proline Baits for doing what they're doing. I think it will be, I'm going to aim for end of the month, when I think we can get our hands on the first product and have it released in our shop. Sam says that he's loving the DT Baits. So do I, brother. So do I. I think DT Baits is a phenomenal company. You know, I mean, they've been doing this, again, for decades for a good reason. So this is what we have new coming from Proline Baits working with us. Okay, so big thanks to them and Keith from Proline Baits. Great job on that. Let's have our segment right now, okay, a little bit more lighthearted. What really grinds my gears, right? So last week we talked about how game fishermen, whether it's fishing for bass, pike, muskies, whatever, get in our business a little bit too close for comfort and annoying us. This year we're gonna take it out of the water and straight into the bank, and let's talk about random people, whether they are fishermen, anglers of other species, or just regular people passing by and always asking the same question, okay? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're probably suspecting correctly right now. They see you catch carp. Oh my God, what is that? Is that carp? And here comes the question. Do you eat it? And that is the question most of us are being asked. Tell me that I'm wrong. Most of us are being asked when we're being approached by people, especially when we're fishing in parks and some public swims really, where the foot traffic is simply there. And then, right, the question is, do you eat them? Right? That's the first question that they ask. And we have a couple of choices, two really, how we can approach this and answer this. And I want your opinions, how you handle that, because I'm sure you have been asked yourself, do you eat it? And, you know, initially, I just felt very annoyed, right? That the same question popping up all the time is like, Jesus Christ, what's with the ignorance of the people, right? And then I figured, let me turn it into educational opportunity, right? So the answer started with like, yeah, I'm gonna fire up the barbecue right here with my buddy here, and we're going to make a stew. And at first, people were surprised, followed by confused as the silly conversation continued. And it was usually with them ending it by leaving because they started to think that they are being screwed around with, or just simply feeling uncomfortable that we would be making fun of them actually at some point. It wouldn't happen right away that they would discover this. But at some point, you know, I decided to make it an educational opportunity. So when I have people ask me this, instead of just rolling my eyes and going with that old adage, that I do eat them, and just explaining to them how I'm going to cook them up, decided to talk to them and explain to them that one, they're not good eaters. You know, many European countries disagree because it's a cultural thing where carp is being eaten. But let's be honest, I mean, there are much better fish to eat than carp, even if one wanted to. That being said, I try to talk to the individuals a little bit more about the fishing, that no, that we release them because they sometimes tend to be territorial, so they will stay here. You can catch it again when it grows bigger, bigger, much bigger, you know, and you can show them a couple of pictures of different carp from different places, how huge they grow, how great the fight is. And from time to time, you will come across somebody who will be intrigued and interested enough, who might actually cross over to the dark side and pick up the carp fishing. Heck, sometimes I'll be fishing, talking with strangers, the rod will go off, I will pick up the rod and I will hand it to them. Okay, especially in those public swims. Oh my God, you will be surprised how people react to suddenly having that 20-pound carp on the other end of the line and trying to fight it with some tips, obviously, and with some, you know, minimal help. But it is view changing to many of them, okay, because they have never caught a fish that will put up that type of fight and give them that much excitement. So that's what I do now. That's what I do now. I turn it into an educational opportunity. Sam is right. We can promote CAG. Absolutely. Whether it's Carp Anglers Group, American Carp Society, I think those are very good places to start and to push people toward, as far as reading up a little bit more about the sport, about the fish itself. I think those are very good starting points. That's a good point. I've done it sometimes, not every single time, but I've done it sometimes, but it's a good point to remember. Let me catch up on some of the comments over here. Jones got asked, is that the most expensive boilie in the world? That's right, brother. You know, that boilie catches only the prettiest fish. Okay, even if it's not the biggest, sometimes it will be the prettiest and the most sophisticated. Okay, so if you catch a carp on it, make sure to post it, tag us in it as the most sophisticated carp that is eating it. What else do we have in the comments? They see a bunch of ducks on one side of my rods and they start throwing out bread. Oh, that must be annoying. If you are fishing and there are ducks around your swim, around your rods, and people throwing bread over there or anything else, that can really wreak a havoc on your equipment. That would be annoying, absolutely. I haven't dealt with that much, but I can see that becoming very annoying. Jack says that he's telling people, nope, I fish for fun, catch and release. Look, also a very good way to approach this. I think anything with a positive twist on it, even if it's going to be short, sweet, and to the point like this, is a good way to go, right? I personally try to be a little bit more educational, unless I see that people are just really not interested in that aspect, and so then I just keep it short, just like you, and I'll tell them, no, it's just a catch and release. But I always end up with the fact that I tell them that they are not a good eat, to make sure that I dissuade them from even the idea of ever getting one, catching one to take home and to eat. Okay, I prefer that they release the fish at the end of the day. What else do we have in the comments over here? 14 years of carp fishing and my relatives are still asking if I eat them. That's coming from Dan. Absolutely. That's how I think it's always going to be. And to my point, you know, the education that you can do on this, you know, will not go unnoticed, except maybe for relatives. Because if you've been explaining this to them for 14 years, I don't think there's much more you can do. Ray says, then they say, what, you like torturing the fish by catching them over and over again? I just stopped talking to them about fishing. Yeah, look, you cannot win all of them, right? Some of them will come with that mindset that the fact that you are fishing is inherently wrong. So those people, it's best to probably avoid and move on from, because you cannot win all of them. Lee says that the previous Connecticut record holder, Mike Hudak, was a little kid when I gave him his first hair rig and showed him his first carp. Well, that's a phenomenal story. I did not know that. So Lee is creating monsters over here, not just anglers, but monster anglers. Um, Sam is asking, how would you deal with a group of people fishing at your spot and they keeping everything, even Lee Hearn's catfish? Well, that's a tough one. If you're going to have people fishing in your spot, first question is, are they allowed to keep it, right? Because every state will have different regulations possibly. If they can keep it, I would be very delicate in how I would be approaching this, right? Because the law is on their side, and if the environmental agency is on their side with it, you can do nothing about it. But you can try to talk to them. It should be at least a low-hanging fruit to approach them in a friendly manner. I think that's the key, in a friendly manner, and educate them about the fish itself, the growth of it, the sport of it, and who knows? Maybe you can convert them. Maybe not on day one, but maybe they'll think about it. Maybe something will change. Maybe invite them to visit CAG, either website or maybe an upcoming CAG event. I think that's the best way to try and convert some of those, meat eaters, so to speak, into catch and release anglers. At least try. I would do at least that. Let's see what else we have on the agenda, guys. Where is my cheat sheet? Okay, here we go. So that was our segment of what really grinds my gears. It wasn't that bad today. We'll have some interesting stuff for next time. But I think that the do you eat them is such a common question being asked of anglers by passerbyers that it had to be addressed, right? And I just think it's important to think how we're going to answer that and try to promote the carp angling rather than just either get snippy or sarcastic with those really silly questions sometimes, right? So, that's the end of what really grinds my gears for today. By the way, for those of you who are joining with a little bit of delay, remember that we have a sale going on today. YT15 for 15% off everything on our website. Okay, absolutely everything on our website is on sale until midnight. And midnight, I mean Eastern time, which is for the next 4 hours and 10 minutes. Not Pacific time, not any other time zone, okay? Eastern time. So you have 4 hours left to get on it. So, and Lee, by the way, makes a very good point that you never get asked that question, do you eat them in England? Yeah, because from what I was hearing on BBC some time ago, fishing is the most popular pastime in UK. They said that about 12% of people engage in it. 12%. I don't know anything 12% in America that Americans are doing as a pastime. Nothing. Okay, 12% is massive. It goes to show and it explains why carp fishing in England and the UK as a whole is such a popular pastime and sport. It's mind-boggling, but that explains a lot. James says I took someone carp fishing and now he's taking over the US carp market. That's right. Listen, I told James Leisner, that whatever happens with Carp Angler will be either his fault, okay, or to his credit, okay. It was largely thanks to him, Costa and Mark Rakitovan and Lee, okay, who are responsible for creating all of this some time ago. So yeah, so far it's working out well, but if something doesn't work out, I'm coming after you. So anyway, What else do we have on the agenda? We've been talking about what grinds my gears. Again, a reminder about the sale. Let me drop you the link again and the coupon code so some of you who are just joining us will not miss it. Let's catch up on the comments. Adam says, I used to fish the Susquehanna River and no one ate the fish because how polluted the river was. Well, that's another thing. I don't get it. Whether you go Connecticut River, Seneca, I think Seneca is a little bit cleaner than Connecticut River. Any other body of water really where carp lives, I wouldn't probably dare eating it from over there. Okay, not only that there are better fish, but there are better bodies of water from which you could take fish to eat. I mean, I imagine going to Lake George, which is absolutely pristine, and I go there for lake trout and some other fish, or maybe Lake Saratoga. But no, Lake George is absolutely, I think, one of the cleanest ones in the States that is at least relatively close to where I am in New York. I can see that, but Delaware River, Connecticut River, no. I think you eat enough of the fish from those waters, you're going to start glowing at night and grow another limb. So unless you're missing one, I wouldn't be daring anybody to eat fish from over there. Yeah, Joel, just like I said, yeah, it's absolutely the most popular pastime, carp fishing. I think that's what you meant to say. Carp fishing is the most popular sport. At least that's what I've heard on BBC. There's 12% of population engaging in it. So, all right, updates. Somebody was asking about the leads. Yes, I have a tracking number showing me that they are on the way. So we have, I think, about 8,000 leads coming right now. And the moment they come, we're going to be placing another order for more. I just want to make sure the delivery happens without a hitch. So the leads should be here, I think, toward the end of the month. So maybe 3 more weeks, maybe 2 more weeks. They might pop up through customs at any time right now. What else have we ordered? We have Wolf International order coming in. It might be tomorrow. We have some butt rests and some other things coming from them. Then we placed the order with DT Baits. So what's new with DT Baits? We decided to pick up a little bit more bait. Obviously, that's what they do. But mainly smaller bags of pellets, which will be competitively priced actually around the same cost of boilies. So it will be the 2.2 pound bags of pellets, which will be coming in the size of 3 millimeters and 7 millimeters. Okay, so depending on what you want to do with this, whether you want to use it as part of your ground bait or PVA bags, you can choose as you wish. So that is coming from them. What else is coming? We chose matching flavors for the boilie dips, and those are coming from DT Baits. So I think we have, I want to say we have Crustasia coming, Superfruit, Cold Water Green Beast, and I think something else. But we have the matching boilie dips coming, the liquids from DT Baits. So that's super exciting. You guys have been asking for it. Oh, this is what we have coming. We have the PVA stick mixes coming from DT Baits. So those powders are coming. They should be with us. Let me check the tracking number, what it says. DT Baits. They are en route, left London today. So I think we should have it in about 2 to 3 days. Okay, so maybe by the end of the week, Friday, no, Monday, I think Monday they will be showing up here if I were to guess. So PVA stick mixes are coming. Now, what we have also ordered this time from Catron, which by the way, I love their company, okay? Their stuff is such high quality, I cannot get over this. I decided to order a bunch of different PVA equipment from them. So we have PVA systems that are coming from them. I don't know if some of you remember during one of the live streams, I think we gave away one of them. They're coming with that sexy, looks like solid wood plunger for the PVA system, mesh system. So we are bringing that in different sizes, obviously the refills for it and all of that. There will be more coming as far as PVA goes from Nash. We are hoping to have our order finalized with Nash within the next probably 2 weeks. We're having some technical difficulties on in their B2B system where we place the order, so that needs to get addressed first. So we are at the mercy of them. As soon as that gets fixed, we'll be pushing the order through. Now, that being said, most of the other things are well stocked from Nash, so we are not in crazy rush, but we are waiting for that to be addressed so we can place another order. So that's coming from Nash. And we will be bringing other things, a lot of end tackle from Nash. We're just still deciding what those items will be because the stock changes all the time. Although most of the items are well stocked by Nash, we'll get to it when we are able to place the order on their website directly, and at that moment we'll decide what other end tackle items we are bringing. Now, let me know what end tackle items you are looking for, or what other items in general you are looking for, and we will bring them. Adam is commenting that thanks, the huge bags were priced too high. Yeah, because they were 11-pound bags, absolutely. I listen to the customers, you guys are speaking out, we're taking notes. That's why we're bringing 1 kilo bags, which is 2.2 pounds, and they will be priced obviously much lower due to their size. So that's coming in several days. Pellets from DT Baits and PVA stick mixes, the powder basically from DT. So that's going to be awesome. And Crustacean dip. Yeah, Lee, as a matter of fact, we already have Crustacean spray, I think. Let me actually take a look on our website. I would like to think that I am correct. Crustacean. We actually have the DNA Crustacean feeding stimulant. Okay, I just dropped a link for you to the Crustacean liquid feed stimulant. That's PVA friendly bait additive that works absolute wonders. That's according to people who have purchased from us and let me know. So the one that I don't have much knowledge on how well it works is the spray. But let me show you the spray that is for Crustacean. It's a bait spray that you can basically use on your bait, etc. Lee is making a good point. I almost forgot. What we have coming is, I just don't know exactly when yet, one more cast products. Ali Hamidi, everybody knows he was with Corda, I think, for quite some time. Now he is running his own business. He got great innovative products and definitely some cool stuff. So One More Cast is the next brand that will be joining Carp Angler. We submitted the order already. We are waiting basically for that to be dispatched to us from UK. But One More Cast by Ali Hamidi is coming our way. So Lee is correct in his comment. Multi-tool have been ordered. That is correct. Multi-tool is coming. For those of you who don't know, I will try to create those products sooner rather than later, once I know that it's been packed up and ready to go, because then I will have an estimate. Look, 90% of the orders we place are being delivered by air, so it's from few days to a week transit time. It's relatively quick. So those items, when they are packaged and ready to go, I will post them on the website, but not before, because I don't want to be dealing with overstating the delivery times, etc., and then disappointing people. So when I have something more, I will let you know, and it shouldn't be long before I can do that. The multi-tool is awesome, Jack says. Yes, it is. That's what I'm hearing. I'm following him. I think it is on Instagram that I've been seeing this, and yeah, the tool is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, he makes a lot of innovative items, which is needed in carp angling, right? I mean, the good old-fashioned tools are fine, but the innovation by some companies is really what I like to see in our store being presented and sold. Right now the companies that do that is Proline Baits. I love working with them, how easy to work with and innovative they are. That's stateside, right? One More Cast with Ali Hamidi. That's another one. I love their items from what I'm seeing. In UK, you have a Ridge Monkey that is, carp angling company, almost like a technology company, right? So Ridge Monkey does it a lot like that. Thinking Anglers does it like that. Super high quality, innovative stuff. Who else? Wolf International. They seem to be that type of company that focuses on the technology aspect of it a lot, the workmanship of the products that they create. I love those type of companies. Don't get me wrong, there's a place for all other companies as well, but those are some of my favorites that I absolutely love and adore. Samuel is asking, what is the price point? I don't know, Sammy, yet. I know that the cost of the product is what it is to us. Then I don't know yet what the shipping costs will be. And those obviously drive the price up or down depending how they are boxed up, what the retail packaging is on it. I've seen the tool, I don't know the retail packaging. So it's a question of if I take the tool, how many of them can I fit in a certain size of a box, right? Then I'll know how the shipping spreads. Hopefully those are not the biggest items. We can pack them up pretty compact in boxes, and the shipping fee should spread fairly nicely between them. So Lee is saying, I'm hoping we can talk to Castaway PVA. Their PVA zip tie for solid bags look fantastic. Yeah, you know what? Let's pick up that conversation after the live stream or maybe tomorrow. I think I want to finally take them up on it and place an order with Castaway. I've been hearing about those zip ties from Lee since last week, and he hasn't stopped talking about it. So I think at some point I'm just going to order it so he doesn't bug me with this anymore, okay? But yeah, seriously, when I first heard him talking about the zip ties all the time, I was like, what is this guy, joining the dating scene again? He's stocking up on his dating equipment, zip ties. But, all jokes aside, yeah, apparently it's a phenomenal product. Lee is swearing by it. So if we bring those PVA zip ties over here, you don't like them, find Lee Hearn, okay? I will actually give you his home address and a phone number. You can call him and go complain to him. He's going to give you a refund directly out of his pocket. There. Jack Wiggle says, I kind of wish I could get a One More Cast keychain for my fishing keys. We haven't ordered it. I will consider it next time, but we haven't ordered it. I wouldn't even know in which category I would put it in on our website. That was probably one of the reasons I didn't order it. So, but it's something that we're going to consider, right? I would love to have a category that will be those one-offs, and I think maybe that will be a proper name for it, where you can have your keychains, maybe some other accessories that are carp fishing related, something cool, geeky, quirky. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. And Lee just confirmed that he will be there if you're going to have complaints about the zip ties. So it's good to know that our pro stuff is coming through. It's good to hear. Absolutely good to hear. Less work for me. Or like Sam just said, novelties. Maybe we'll call it that. One-offs, novelties, novelty items. Yeah, I just have to see if there are enough items um, from different companies to fill up a page at least of those novelty items, right? Because I cannot just throw one item there. I have to find more. I, you could do some mugs over there. You could do the keychains. I have to think about it. We'll figure something out. Uh, Lee says that zip ties are great. Kinky, but great. Hey, it's also on a budget. They're fairly cheap too. So Valentine's Day already passed, but there's your idea, Sam, for the next one. Jack says carp angler stickers would be good for that category. So you guys need to let me know because I am going back and forth on this stickers question. On one hand, a couple of people here and there ask about the stickers if we are going to come up with some of them. I am leaning toward yes. Then there is this whole section which I do understand. Hecklers, okay, how with some other company they spend $500 and they get a sticker, right? So I think I understand where those giggles are coming from because people sometimes feel like with some other company they have been taken for a ride in terms of, let's say, a price or a shipping cost. Hey, but I get a sticker. So look, I get the joke, but I think if we did it, it will be actually very well received. And maybe we'll do, different stickers so you get a different one every single time you place the order. Maybe we'll do it with different looking carps. Maybe we'll do it with a mirror. Maybe we'll do it another one with a common, a grasser, maybe even a buff. Not a carp, but still, right? Carpy enough. So maybe we'll design some cool selection of funny stickers and start throwing those in with every order being placed. So that's something for me to work on. I promise you I'm going to try to do something with it sooner rather than later, but we have to come up with the designs, and so I have to spend some time on it. Ray says, yeah, I want some stickers so I can put them over my BCT stickers that I put on my pack bait bucket. No comment. No comment. But point taken. Point taken. So yeah, Lee Hearn sticker. Which one? The one where he's posing naked, just covering his privates while he's holding the carp? I mean, can you imagine how petrified the carp had to be? Lee standing there butt naked, holding a carp, just covering, you know what, with the fish. Imagine being that fish that has an eye on the other side facing him. Can you imagine this? That carp is traumatized for the rest of his life. Okay? So we can definitely think about it, what we're going to do. Jack Wiggles says to Ray that you can take those stickers off with Goo Gone. Yeah, Goo Gone, Be Gone. Instead of the carp angler sign. Yeah, look, I think that there's plenty of options for us to go with. We don't have to go just with one or the other. We can do both, and then we can alternate how we ship them and to whom. We're gonna have to figure out if there's a method to keep track who received what sticker already. We're going to have to figure this out. Jack Wiggles said he caught a 20 on the End Blend. End Blend is a very good bait by DT Baits. I am going to be giving it a go right now that the summer is starting. I think it will be a phenomenal bait for summer. The End Blend. I absolutely think so. And the one that I really want to give a go with is the Scopex. So Lee has been recently fishing the second most expensive boilie in America, the Scopex Premier, and he lost a monster on his lake. He lost an absolute monster. And for Lee not to be able to land a fish, the fish had to be really of a decent size. So it was a bummer, but I think it gives him that much more to go on with on that swim to make sure that he tries to nail it the next time. Adam says that the poor carp has no eyelids. Listen, that carp that Lee was holding might have went completely blind by now, okay? At least on one eye. I can just see that carp, trying to cover its eyes with the pectorals. It's like us trying to kiss our elbows, right? You try, but it's just not possible. And Lee says that he landed a 29 and a 32, and the one that he says he lost was just scary. Yeah, look, Lee doesn't usually exaggerate when it comes to fishing. When it comes to fishing, he doesn't exaggerate. Okay, other things, sure. But so when he says it was a monster, it really had to be a monster. Okay, he usually has a very good gauge in his hand when he lands a fish as far as what's on the other end. So too bad that he lost it, but it's good to know that the Scopex is really working its wonders. I'm going to, by the way, drop you a link to those Scopex Premier Boilies because they have been selling very well. I personally haven't used them that much yet. I will have to give them a proper go in the coming week or two. I think for the summer they are one of those baits like the End Blend from DT Baits that will be working really well for the summer carp. So let's see how that goes, but I have a good feeling about it. Like we already know, right? Cocoberry, Pink Diamond have been smashing it all over US right now. And the reports that we are getting are just through the roof, okay? People are head over heels. They no longer mind spending the money because the results that they are getting are just phenomenal, right? So they're sticking to what works. Scopex, I have to give it a proper go this summer. But the ones that have been catching on them, Lee included, have been nothing but praises regarding the bait. Yeah, Rafa was saying the same thing. The Scopex boilies are fire. They are lit. They really, really are. I don't have them with me here. Actually, I do. Those are our Scopex Premier. Those are Scopex Premier. And look what I have here. If it isn't the most expensive boilie in America. This is what all the fuss is about. Oh my God. I mean, ever since we released it, we had a large portion of the carp angling community. One portion is in shock. One portion is offended just because we are openly saying that this is most expensive boilie, blah, blah, blah. And then there's that other portion who actually buys it and catches the best fish around, okay? Beat that portion. Go get yourself a bag of those. Give them a try. After all, it's bait. It's not crazy expensive. And Rafa is right. He likes them better than the cracked diamond. Listen, we've seen those boilies smoked, eaten, just about anything, and fished with. But yes, still the best results are if you simply fish with them. So, look guys, what we have to do is, I have to mention the line that I will be trying. Synapse Wild Carp. Okay, this. Catron, as you know, makes some of the best fishing lines on the market. My favorites are Catron Krypton. Wild Carp I will be trying soon. Haven't tried it yet. I've heard great things about it. You have your PB Mono. that Lee is absolutely in love with. So is Robert, Robert Yageo, who caught his state record, and countless others. Um, I will be trying this one. Oh, and aside from this one, Nash Bullet. Nash Bullet is another one of those proven lines that I think I will be going back to from time to time. I will be trying this if the weather holds up and I go to the lake house next week, which I am hoping I will. I will be going with this Synapse Wild Carp fishing line from Catron. And I decided to go with a thicker diameter this time because there are obviously a bunch of weeds right now on one side of the swim, and abrasion resistance, doesn't matter how good it is, the line diameter comes into play greatly, right? It doesn't matter how abrasion resistant the line is. If the line is very thin, it really doesn't take much to break it. You need thicker line, and the weeds over there can be a problem. I've lost a couple of fish there at the lake house. I've lost some big ones. Then some even bigger ones were stolen from me. Okay, everybody knows the story of Rafa from the lake house catching my PB. Okay, well, he was told to do this, but still, okay, I have to make him feel as guilty as possible, and I'm going to milk this until I catch a 40 over that, okay, or unless I catch a new state record over that. But until then, we're going to make Rafa at the lake house feel as guilty as possible, and we're going to do that guilt trip, like I said, until we milk it, until there is nothing left, right? What happened is basically, I think I mentioned this on the last live stream. I had a double. It's been absolutely a mental day. It's been a fish after fish. I had a double. I picked up the first rod after running from upstairs. Rafa came right behind me. Within 10 seconds, another rod goes off. He grabs it. To his credit, obviously, he tells me that's a big fish. I'm thinking to myself, well, they all big over here. He's like, no, this is a really big fish. But you know what? Once he picked up that rod, I wouldn't feel right taking it from him just because I think it's a really big fish. He picked up the rod, he started fighting it, he has to finish it. He did a phenomenal job. He landed a 39 pound and 12 ounces out of there. Good thing it wasn't a 40, so we still remained very good friends and there was no police involved. But still, good job on the almost 40 and taking my PB. So hopefully next time I pick the right rod when I have a double and you are next to me. Although, watch him. Next time he's going to have second thoughts whether he's going to pick up that rod because he's going to get blamed for it later. No, it's obviously all in good fun. He did whatever needed to be done. If he wouldn't pick that rod up, okay, I think the pod would end up in the water because that carp was absolutely doing whatever it wanted with him. Obviously, it's a 40-pound fish, basically, so it was not responding really to much of anything. You're just at that point attached to it, and that's all you do. And you're waiting until it gracefully decides to come close to you and you can net it. But until then, you're just attached to it with the fishing line, and that's about it. You're at the mercy of a 40-pound fish. So anyway, that was a fun day. This will be something that we're going to talk smack about probably for years to come. Everybody has, probably a similar story where, you had a double or you let a friend of yours pick up the rod and then something massive, ended up being caught, but this is mine, right? So until we catch a 40, that story will be told many, many times. But yeah, no, look, Rafa is a great host. Lake House has been obviously delivering multiple 40s, mid-40s right now with the state record. And so I am sure that there's a bigger fish to be caught over there, but it's good to have those, those funny stories to be told. That's really half of it is all about that. You know, being able to do this with people that you enjoy doing it with, having some cool memories, and this is really going to be one of those that will be told many times because it's funny. At the end of the day, it is very funny, and it's really cool to look back at those memories and be able to, you know, reminiscent. So, guys, remember again that we have a sale going on until midnight. We have new Extractor Pro rods that just came into stock, and while the stock is good, don't sleep on it because in a lot of places they are out of stock, and I don't know if it's going to be the case where Sonic will again run out of those and we're gonna have to wait months until we have a chance to order them again. Remember the first time they became available in April, I think, it seems like they were live for 24 hours or less. They were sold out in a jiffy, and bam. And this is just the second time that they become available 2 months later. So 2 or 3 months later, maybe that was in March. So anyway, that's the news from that. Now, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel here. Make sure you are subscribed because we will be scheduling another one, okay? And another one, and they will be mostly on YouTube moving forward. So we can grow the channel. It's working for us better. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and not just come to watch. Besides, in order to be able to comment and interact with us, you have to be a subscriber at the very least. So make sure to subscribe. Again, we'll be dishing out additional content on YouTube coming soon. There will be some additional product videos, in-session videos we'll be doing probably as soon as starting next week. So make sure you tune in. But to know when we are going live, aside from the scheduled live streams, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Sam is reminding that June 24th, there's a New York leg of the Yankee Challenge. Are you coming to present the prizes at Henry Hudson Park? Sam, I will have to figure it out because what happens is my wife set a trap, okay? She allowed me to go fishing, you know, go to Seneca, go to Del Hallow, go to the lake house for basically 10 days, and all seemed too good to be true. And now, those of you who are married, you already know, if it sounds too good to be true when it comes to your wife, it is too good to be true. Okay, so I was just too blinded by my wife's niceness, so I didn't know what was coming. Well, what was coming is that she was planning her excursions, trips, right? So she had one international trip followed by another international trip, and the other one is, I think, either June 22nd or 24th, something like that. So I will have to find some babysitting services within the family, basically, to be able to come over there because we are sponsoring a prize for the Yankee Challenge, and so it would be cool to show up, and I will do my best to show up. But, you know, unfortunately, my wife is leaving me to see her boyfriend in Spain, Alejandro Sanz. Yeah, so apparently that's the boyfriend. I mean, I've been told about him a long time ago, so in all fairness, I knew. But again, she will be there for his concert, and I will be stuck at home with a couple of ungrateful little kids, and that will be my week. So I will see if I can come out. I will do my best. Now, what we are going to do is we will schedule another live stream on YouTube. So make sure, again, you subscribe so you get that notification. We will do a sale next time as well. I'm not sure what that sale will be yet, or when the actual live stream will be. I will decide on it later on, but we will put it on, not on Facebook, we'll put it on YouTube, so make sure you are subscribed. Just a reminder for all of you that the sale is going on until midnight only. Okay, so if you catch this live stream later on, the coupon code will not work. Right? That's the way we do it. We do it for the duration of the live stream and until midnight that day. I dropped a link with the details of the sale for today, which is above here, YT15 for 15% off all the items. If you guys and gals have any other questions for me, ask now. And as James mentioned in the comment below, hit that bell for all notifications. Subscribe and hit that bell to be notified when we post something on when we decide to go live again. Okay, hit that bell to be notified. Do not miss out. You know, sometimes we have giveaways, sometimes we have sales, sometimes we have both. It can be many different things, and you simply don't want to miss out, right? Plus the content is, I think, pretty entertaining to say the least, and full of information that really concerns sometimes the entire carp angling market and not just our store. So on behalf of carpangler.com, thanks for joining, guys. This has been a blast. I'm glad that the YouTube stream worked out very well. We'll be continuing this moving forward. I hope you like the little presentation with the baits that we have coming up with ProLine baits. And again, feel free to rewatch it. We really have a lot of new items coming in, and there will be more. There are more in the pipeline that we just didn't spill the beans on just yet, because we want to do this in due time when they are closer to arrival. But we will do that in due time, and we hope you have a great evening. Enjoy the weekend. Stay safe, tight lines, and we'll talk soon. Ciao.